Maybe you've heard of Jupiter, Florida. In fact, Coastal Living voted it to be the 9th happiest coastal village in the United States. So if you're thinking about moving to Jupiter, Florida, we're going to review the pros and the cons of moving to Jupiter, Florida. My name is Ray Fernandez. I'm with Living in Palm Beach, Florida, powered by eXp Realty. Welcome. If this is your first time to our channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button there in the corner. While you're at it, ring that bell. What that'll do is that'll help notify you each time we put out a new video. We put out new videos every single week. If you're wondering what it's like to eat, sleep, and drink here in this beautiful part of the world we call Florida and South Florida, this is a channel for you. 17 years ago, my family and I relocated to this beautiful part of the world we call South Florida, and we haven't looked back. Today, we truly find honored to help people, perhaps like you, do the exact same thing. So if you're thinking about exploring this area, if you're thinking about moving to this area, and you want to ask questions of people who've actually done it before, well, there's a few ways to get a hold of us. Down below is our email address. That's one great way. Also on the screen, you see our phone number. You can either call or text that number. Two of the absolute best ways is in the description and the comments section. There's a link. Click on that link. What that'll do is that'll set up some time for us to speak either through a phone call or through a Zoom, whatever way you feel most comfortable. In any case, we have your back when it comes to relocating here to sunny South Florida. We've helped so many people relocate to Florida, and we absolutely love it. Jupiter, Florida is one of the most picturesque places in all of the United States, hands down. You really won't know it until you come to see it. Its beauty is immense. I am going to use this opportunity to go over the pros and the cons when you're thinking about moving to this area. There's just a lot going on. I am going to use a map. I find from people that that's a very helpful tool that people like to see. I know that when I was moving down here 17 years ago, I would have loved to watch a video like this because I love looking at maps and knowing where things are located. So in any case, I'm going to review the pros and cons. We're going to go over the map, and we're going to show you all the features of what this great town has to offer. When my family and I moved here several years ago, actually 17 years ago to be exact, we looked all over the state. Florida is just a unique state. It is a huge state. To go from where we are here in Southeast Florida to Pensacola in Northwest Florida, that's like a 9-hour drive. It's a pretty big, it's a pretty long ride. It's a big state. There's a lot to see. There is a big difference between Northern Florida and South Florida. So if you are thinking about moving to Florida as a whole, I highly recommend checking out other areas. But once we decided on Palm Beach, we looked at several areas. Jupiter is one of the nicest, one of the most prettiest area in all of Palm Beach. And I'm going to show you here with the map today some of the features, some of the highlights if you're considering moving to Jupiter, Florida. First, let's get an overview of exactly where Jupiter, Florida is. So here we are, the overview of Florida. As you can tell, Florida is way down here in the United States. Here in South Florida, Southeast Florida, this is as you can see, you sort of see the pockets of population here on this map. There's a lot from here. This Port St. Lucie now has grown actually one of the faster growing cities in Florida now. But having said all that, this is the Tri-County area. This is where we're going to focus our attention. There's Miami-Dade, which is down here. Miami-Dade is Miami is the biggest city. Everyone knows Miami. Above that, in the Tri-County area, is Broward County. Everyone knows Fort Lauderdale. That's the biggest city there. Now we're going to Palm Beach. When we go to Palm Beach, West Palm Beach is the biggest city. Really, it's the most rural of the Miami metro area. And we find actually today in 2023, a lot of people moving from here up to here, believe it or not, as it gets more crowded down in the Miami area. And here we still have a little bit. It's like a big suburb. And then Jupiter is exactly like that. It is like a big suburb. And if you look at the northern part of Palm Beach County in Palm Beach is Jupiter, Florida. So Jupiter, Florida is the northernmost part of Palm Beach, and it's also the northernmost part of the Miami metro area. In fact, if you go from Jupiter to Miami, downtown Miami, that's about 87. It's about 87 miles. Also, I want to mention that it's Population is about 56,000. So in northern Palm Beach, this is northern Palm Beach Gardens, Jupiter, in that area. It is one of the bigger cities. It's 56,000, as I say. It is also, at the same time, it feels like a suburb. If you're used to living in a suburb in some of the other areas like Philadelphia, New York, Chicago, and all that, you'd probably understand a little bit about what Jupiter is all about. So if you live in our area, if you live in the Palm Beach area, you will find yourself in general coming here a lot. West Palm Beach. I just did a video on the pros and cons of moving to West Palm Beach. It's something whether you live in Jupiter or whether you live in Boynton Beach, which is just south of West Palm Beach, you find yourself going to the capital there of West Palm Beach because there's a lot. There literally is a lot to do there. I want to spend a minute on West Palm Beach. West Palm Beach, there's just a lot to do there. When you live in the area, you find yourself going there quite often. The shows, the restaurants, and so forth. There are basically two areas in West Palm Beach that are popular. One is the downtown area. There's Clematis. If you ever hear Clematis, it's Clematis Street, which is the main street through downtown. They do a lot of stuff there in the holidays. It's beautiful. And there's a lot of great restaurants on Clematis. The second area is what they call, the locals now still call it the original name, which is City Place. There's a lot to do there as well. If you live and you move to Jupiter, Florida, you most likely will find yourself going to Rosemary Square. In the holidays, they have this big wishing tree. They light it up. They put it synchronized to music. They even have snow in. It doesn't snow here really. They even have snow in that they release every half hour during the holiday season. It's sort of a festive time. So if you live in moving to Jupiter, Florida, you will find yourself going to West Palm Beach every now and again, at the very least. So as we move back to the map, one of the pros when it comes to moving to Jupiter, Florida is it has one of the nicest beaches in the world. So if we look here at the, I'm going to zoom in a little bit at the beach. This is just a great area. I mean, there's a lot of activity right in here. As I mentioned, it is we are in a big suburb, but if you were to say, if you think of Jupiter, you're probably thinking this area right in here. Down here is Dubois Park. Actually, let me go here now. Dubois Park. I did a video, the pros and cons of living in Jupiter, Florida, about a little over a year ago. And somebody came on the comment saying, it's not Dubois Park, it's Dubois Park. So Dubois is it's a French word. I don't know who you hang out with, but I've hung out with lots of people that live in Jupiter too. And I've heard it called both ways. It's Dubois Park and Dubois Park. So leave a comment down below if you want to weigh in on that. Is it Dubois? Is it Dubois Park? Doesn't matter. It's a beautiful park. So if you are like, what's nice about this park is that if you have kids and you're taking them to the beach, you will find that it's very safe. And let me just zoom in here. You can see here. So this says Dubois Park parking, but you can go there. So Dubois Park is right in here. And so if you want to avoid, if you want to be like in an area where the ocean is not fiercely coming up, it's a great place for kids that might not be strong swimmers. Dubois Park or Dubois Park is a place I would definitely check out. If you're coming to the beaches in general, you're going to come down this way, and you're going to park right in here. Let's see here. So you're going to park right in. Well, you can park here too. This is for the beach. That's Dubois Park. I park here more often than not. This area right here is absolutely beautiful. It's just incredible. One of my favorite things is to sit in that area and just watch the boats go by. The fishing there is phenomenal. Probably one of the best places to fish in our area is Jupiter. It doesn't have the long pier that you see at Juno Beach. Does not have the long pier that you see at Lake Worth. There's a Lake Worth pier. Those piers shoot out like 900 feet. You have a much shorter pier at Jupiter. But the fishing there is amazing. Now, one of my favorite things to do, whether it's Juno Beach or Jupiter, and I'll talk more about Juno in a minute, one of my favorite things to do is to watch the sunrise. It takes me a little while to get there. I'm in central Palm Beach County. It might take me in the morning about 35, 40 minutes to get there, but it's really worth it. It is Watching the sunrise, I'm shocked that more and more people don't do it. The people who like to fish, that is when they come. You will see some people, Juno Beach especially. I've seen the pier. If you go to Juno Beach in early morning, it'll cost you like $1 to walk the pier. It's well worth it. It'll cost you $4 to fish the pier. So if you're going there to fish, you'll do it. Even though that's the case, you will see a ton of people fishing that pier at Juno Beach. I'll go more to Juno Beach in a second. But back to Jupiter. Jupiter, you have that smaller pier, and the fishing there is just incredible. You will see the boats going out in that area. You will see the boats going out into the ocean. It's just amazing. The yachts, the people who live in Jupiter, who live off the Loxahatchee River that leads into Jupiter Inlet, and they have houses along that. They're just the most expensive houses, literally, in the area, and in many cases in the United States. But watching it go by it's great. They have jet skis going through there. It is one of the most treacherous waterways in the world. And there's even a sign there that says, if you're going through here, make sure you're going with an experienced boater, because it is just that dangerous if you don't know what you're doing. So one of the pros when it comes to moving to Jupiter, Florida, is the beach. You will find yourself, even if you don't live in Jupiter, you might live in Boynton Beach, you might live in Wellington, you might live anywhere in the area. You will find Jupiter Beach to be a beach that you're going to go to, because it is one of the most beautiful beaches in the entire world. All right, moving on. So I want to stick in this area. Jupiter really, let me just tell you, Jupiter goes way out here. It really does go way out here. But people who know Jupiter, this is what they're really thinking of. This right here is Jupiter Island. This is one of the most expensive places to live in the world. So let me go here now. Golf. South Florida is filled with golfers. Right here is where a lot of them live. In fact, I'll go a step further. There are more professional golfers that live in Jupiter, Florida, than any place else in the whole world. So once we come down Jupiter Island and we come in here, I want to hit on this area. This is really nice. This is what I call Restaurant Row. You can see some of them here. You have 1000 North. You have the Square Grouper. You have Jetties is in here. Let me tell you a little bit about what you can expect if you're eating lunch or dinner here in this area. All that area, Restaurant Row, the Jetties, Square Grouper, the Beacon. It is it's off the Intercoastal. You can literally see across the way the Jupiter Lighthouse. The Jupiter Lighthouse is like a symbol. It's a symbol of Jupiter for certain. It's probably a symbol for, I would say, on a more larger scale, of all of Palm Beach. It is. It's just one of those. It's just one of those things of beauty. So if you're sitting there at those restaurants, there's like a little area there that you can sort of hang out and while you're waiting to eat. But I like to go there just sort of. You don't even have to eat. Just go there to hang out. Watch the beauty of the boats going by. You do have the most unique boats that do go by, from large to small, and you see it all if you're hanging out in the Restaurant Row area in Jupiter, Florida. So let me go to one of the cons. One of the cons when it comes to moving to Jupiter, Florida, is the weather. Yeah, I did say that. I did say the weather. The weather is nice here all wrong. So I'm going to go to the pro side of it, but I'm going to say this from a con side of it. If you do not like humidity, Jupiter, Florida is not for you. We get, in the summertime, it gets hot here. But here's the deal, is it doesn't get any more hot here in Jupiter, Florida than it does in New York, Philadelphia, Chicago, or Ohio. It really is the same. The difference is we have really, really long summers. Our summers start earlier. Our summers end late. When you guys are cooling down in September, we're not. It is still the summertime, weather-wise it is. It is still the summertime here in Florida when we have September. We really do not cool down to really about mid-October is when you start noticing the difference in humidity. So if you don't like humidity, don't consider moving to Jupiter, Florida. The other aspect of the weather in that regard is that we have a long rainy season in the summertime. So you can look at it both ways. It rains a lot in the afternoon in the summertime. This is why it never gets to 100 degrees here in Florida. When you guys are like roasting up in up in the Northeast at 105 degrees sometimes. And it does. I know it happens. It never happens here. That's one of the dirty secrets about Florida. It just does not. We get these afternoon thunderstorms. It calms it down. It rarely gets above 95. It is hot. It gets into the 90s, but it never gets that. It never gets that hot, that ultimate hot above 95. But we do get a lot of rain. And if you don't like a lot of rain in the afternoon in the summer, then Florida and Jupiter, Florida is not for you. All right, moving on. So I'm going to touch on some of the moving aspects of this if you're moving here. So we at Living in Palm Beach, we specialize in relocations. That's our thing. People that move from other parts of the country to here in the United or the world, actually, come here. We help them move here. Now, there's you can look at existing homes, and you can look at new construction. I'll get to more about new construction later because Jupiter, Florida is a little bit unique in that regard. But I want to hit on this. If you go west, so this is way west in Jupiter, and a lot of people live out this way. This is area out here called you can see the Bush Wildlife Sanctuary. It's just a very rural place out here. And also you have here what you call out here Jupiter Farms. Jupiter Farms is made for people who want like a lot of land. The typical area in Jupiter Farms is about 1.5 acres. You can actually, we work with some custom builders that actually can build for you out there. The land out there is much more expensive because it's Jupiter than Loxahatchee. Just south in Loxahatchee, you can get you can get the same amount of land for a much lower price. But in Jupiter Farms, there's also existing houses. So if you want like an 1.5 acre, no HOA, which a lot of people do, Jupiter Farms is where you're going to look in that regard. Going to the new construction. I got to say this. If you're looking at new construction and you go without a realtor, whether it's me or anyone, if you go without a realtor and you go on your own, you are absolutely crazy because you do want independent representation. But having said that, the options for new construction in Jupiter, there's really not a lot. There's the Reserve at Jupiter, which is almost sold out. It's a more of a modest community. Then you have on the other end, big difference is Bridgewater, which is a Dubois community, where you have homes that are $1.5 million plus, going up to like $3 million. Really expensive stuff. So you got like you got this and you got that. Not a lot in the middle. So if you were to Google new construction in Jupiter, you'll see places like Avenir. You'll see places like Artistry. You'll see places like, that aren't Coulter Homes that does a lot. Or Alton, I'm thinking of. You'll see those places advertised. They're not really Jupiter. They are really Palm Beach Gardens. Because when you're looking at a map, Palm Beach Gardens is just south of Jupiter. We do a ton of business. And that area is like our biggest area. When it comes to new construction, that is our biggest area. We do a lot of business in Avenir. So anyways, if you want to know about new constructions, reach out to our team. Also, I have a new construction website. This is my new construction website. If you want to search for only new construction in anywhere in our area, reach out, send us an email. We'll happily set you up with that website. You can just explore on your own at your leisure all the new construction in our area. Okay, moving on. Let's go back east a little bit. So I got to talk a little bit about this. This Loxahatchee River. If you staying on homes too, if you have a really healthy budget and you want, and when I say healthy budget, I'm talking like $5 million roughly. There are places along here. Let's see if we can see some of them. There are places like these homes here. These are worth a lot of money. They're great because you can literally, as you can see, these people have docks in their backyard, and in some cases, very long piers in their own backyard. It's rather nice. So if you can literally dock your boat, like this dude right here, you could walk down here from your backyard. From your backyard, let's take this guy's house, right? And walk into your dock, and here's your boat. This isn't her boat. and then you go into the ocean. This is pretty calm. Once you get through here, this is where the rough waters start. But But these houses here they're worth a lot of money. If you have a healthy budget, you want to work with someone who understands this area, please reach out to Living in Palm Beach, Florida. We would love to help you. So moving on to the ocean here, I got to get to this because this is one of the pros when it comes to moving to Jupiter, Florida. Is there's just a lot to do with the water sports, especially this beach here. You have this beach and all the way down to Juno, Jupiter Beach. This is sort of all the same. Juno Beach Pier. I'm going to get to that now, but let me say this whole area here. If you are a surfer, this is the best place to surf in the whole area. It is incredible. Actually, I'll even go further up here into Tequesta, which is up in this area here. This is all Tequesta right there. Tequesta. This area here is some of the best surfing there is. The waves are pretty strong. You'll see a lot of kayaking as well. Water sports are just this is like the area for water sports. In fact, I'll even go further. Let me look at my little cheat sheet here. Jupiter was voted by Coastal Living the 9th happiest coastal village in the U.S. It was also voted by another publication the 12th best beach town in the United States, and it really is. You can do kayaking here. You will see manatees here. No kidding. You will see sharks too. So if you're out here, you want to. This is a guarded area, so you will have you'll have lifeguards at times here. So if you're worried about that, go into an area that's being guarded by a lighthouse. There are some condos here as well. This is a big condo that's right off the ocean. So anyway, if you're looking at condos, there's a lot involved in condos. Reach out to our team. There are some aspects you need to know if you're looking to buy a condo and you're moving to Jupiter, Florida. But there's kayaking, there's windsurfing. One of the best things about this area is there's just a lot to do all year round. So I like to think of this area as if you're into fitness and doing things all year round, there's no better area. You will see along the beach, along the beachway of the A1A and along Route 1 and whatnot. You'll see people jogging. You'll see rollerbladers. You'll see bikers. You'll see all kinds of things. People love to run on the beach. That's another big thing. So if you're into fitness, Jupiter, Florida is definitely a place I would consider. The other big aspect of it is the boating capital of the world. Like you can tell by what I looked at with those homes there, the boating capital of the world and the fishing capital of the world. One of the big things about this area is now you don't have to live like right on the ocean there. You have a lot of communities here that have ponds, right? Like they're man-made ponds. We use that water to keep our water bill down, to irrigate the grass. Grass here is very different than grasses anywhere else in the country. And more on that, if you reach out to our team if you want to know more about that. But irrigation is important because we have a long dry season and a long wet season, and we get intense heat at times. But in any event, in those ponds, you can go fishing, and they stock those ponds. So you have fishing whether you want to do the ponds. The intercoastal is a great place for fishing, and of course deep sea fishing, where you can catch whether it's blue marlin, whether it's shark fishing, anything. In fact, if you go to Juno Beach, it says no shark fishing off the pier, but if you go deep sea fishing with a boat, there's no better place than Jupiter, Florida. So I said I was going to go to Juno Beach, and I forgot. I'm going back right now. So here we go. Juno Beach. Where are you, bub? Here you go. Juno Beach. One of the nicest beaches in the world. I mean, seriously. This pier is just absolutely gorgeous. This is the pier I was talking about when it comes to walking down the pier. One other thing I like about this place too, compared to the southern part of the county, like Delray Beach and Boca Raton, they charge for parking. I hate that. They don't charge for parking here. This is free parking right in here. I mean, I just don't think we pay enough in real estate taxes. If you want to know what real estate taxes are in Palm Beach, reach out to our team. One of the things that we have found that people are somewhat surprised about real estate taxes. They think that they're going to come down here and pay a song when it comes to real estate taxes. You're not. It is the major way that we do. That's one of the cons when it comes to moving to Jupiter, Florida. Is the real estate taxes are probably higher than you're thinking. We see a lot of people that are surprised. People think they're going to move to Florida and their real estate tax is going to be $4.92. It's not going to be that. I came down here from New York, and I was my taxes, real estate taxes were lower, but not by a lot. Anyways, Florida does use they fund all this stuff through the real estate taxes, but one of the benefits is that we have no state tax. But more on that in another video, another thing. But I want to go here. Juno Beach, Florida is one of the nicest piers, one of the nice beaches. Juno Beach is only like it's only like it's a really small town. It's like 3,000 people live there. The living here is, as you can see here, there's like some condo living here. This is, if you want like a smaller place, you're not going to get a big 6,000 square foot mansion here in Juno Beach. But there are some places, there's some bluffs back here, there's some parks. Here, the dunes, the Juno Dunes, beautiful area. I like to go here. It's nature, there's hiking trails. There is the Sea Oats place. This is all nice. It's back a little ways, and it's off all this natural area. Again, these are, as you can tell here, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. As you can tell, these are like modest townhomes and condos. We've helped people look in this area. It's unique. So what's great about it is you can get up in the morning and go to this beach here, which is one of the nicest beaches in the world, and it's a pure beauty. I got to say this. Let me go here. Here is the Loggerhead Marine Life Center. What this is they tell the kids, they educate the kids on what they have here. This is their parking lot. We have the largest, Juno Beach and Jupiter Beach has the largest population of sea turtles in the entire world. If you live anywhere near these areas, again, Palm Beach Gardens especially, Palm Beach Gardens is a pretty big city right nearby. You're going to find yourself going to these places. Everyone knows Juno Beach. It's this little place, as I mentioned, only 3,000 people live there, but it's sort of world renowned, and people from all over do go there because it's just a thing of beauty. And it's if you're in the area, if you're visiting the area, we have, by the way, if you're visiting our area and you're on a preliminary visit, one of the first things I always tell people is you need to know which area is right for you. We have here at Living in Palm Beach, Florida, we have developed a system called Hot Spots. Reach out to our team. If you're coming to an area to explore, I will send you hot spots. We have developed them for West Palm Beach. We developed them for Palm Beach Gardens, for Wellington, for Jupiter. If you want to know what areas you need to hit to see if this is the right area for you, reach out to us, and we'd love to send you what we have, what we term our hotspots. Go ahead. If you haven't done this already, please hit that like button there in the corner. What that does is it gets more and more people in to see this video, helps more and more people, perhaps like you, relocate to this beautiful part of the world we call sunny South Florida. So here we go. I got to go through this, one of the cons. One of the cons when it comes to moving to Jupiter, Florida is there's really no like downtown street light. If you're looking for like active street activity and whatnot, Jupiter's not for you. It's not going to be your place. You have Delray Beach down south, maybe even Boca Raton, West Palm Beach. Jupiter's not like that. Jupiter's a little bit more spread out. I'll go to, I went to that little, the area where the beaches are. There's another area I want to talk about. I'll get to there in a minute. But one of the cons when it comes to moving to Jupiter, Florida is there's no real active street life with restaurants and all that. It's a lot more laid back. It's a lot more rural. So if that's what you're looking for, then Jupiter is not for you. All right, let me move on to a couple of places I need to get to in this video that are really important in Jupiter. Guanabas. So this is like where our restaurant row is just right here. Guanabas is like one of the most popular restaurants in Jupiter. I got to say this. Some of the Jupiter is made of, all these restaurants are quite unique. They're not like chain restaurants. If I compare like Jupiter to like Wellington, which is also very popular, people like to visit and consider to move to, Wellington is filled with all those chain Olive Garden type restaurants. Jupiter does not have that. So that's one of the pros with moving to Jupiter, Florida, is you have a lot of unique restaurants. This place is just awesome. Gets very crowded. If you're going to go there on the busy days like a Mother's Day, you can definitely expect to wait. The good thing about it is if you do wait there, it's very, very picturesque. They have these beach chairs you hang out, like these, I forget, the wooden, but you just hang out, and it's just a thing of beauty. If you have to wait around a half hour or so there, I can't think of a better place. So that is Guanabas. I have to go here. This is an area that they built going back about maybe 8 years ago now. This is called Harbourside. It is it's one of the bigger areas now in Jupiter, Florida. So if you come through here, there is just there's just a lot of restaurants. It's like if you come across here, this is the main road. I got to say this. This is the main road through Jupiter. It goes here as 706. It's funny thing about these maps here. You need a local to really explain them to you. No one calls this Route 706. This is Indian Town Road. Everyone around here calls this Indian Town Road. This is how you get over basically to all these things. Whoa, get rid of that. You get to all these things on the beach here. But before you go over there, there's the Harbourside. Let me tell you a little bit about Harbourside. There's a lot of nice restaurants. There's a nice Mexican restaurant there that's very popular. There's a lot of shopping in there too, high-end type of stuff. If you're thinking about staying in Jupiter, Florida, there's the Wyndham Grand, the Wyndham, how do you say it? I don't know, you know what I'm talking about. Wyndham Grand. Wyndham Grand Hotel is there. High-end hotel. If you have a little bit of money you want to spend while you're here, that's a good place. And it's walkable to all those things there. So the other great thing about that is after you're done with lunch, you can walk down to the docks. It is one of the most beautiful places. You can just see all the bajillion-dollar boats that sort of hang there. I'll look there and I'll see people fishing in the intercoastal there, and sometimes I'm a little bit jealous, I must admit, that they're able to do it at that exact time. You'll see the houses. The houses along there are beautiful. Again, you need a healthy budget for a house off the intercoastal like that. But just looking at that, you feel like you are on vacation. If you move to Jupiter, Florida, in many aspects, you will feel like you're on vacation literally 7 days a week. So one of the cons when it comes to moving to Jupiter, Florida is, so I got to go into this. This is not just for Jupiter, but a lot of the area here is hurricanes. When it comes to hurricanes, we have a problem here in Florida because we are at the lower end. We're sort of like a target in the hurricane season. So you see less people come here literally in September because that is the height of the hurricane season. You have to be a little bit careful if you're coming in September. That probably about 65% of the hurricane, that's my guess, come in the month of September. The next most popular month is August, and the one after that is October. So that's like the highlight of it. We as Floridians have learned to deal with it. We've learned to buckle down. But on the positive side, and you can use as a pro to moving to Palm Beach, Florida, is the homes here are built really well. They're really strong. We have really high codes in order to, the builders have to adhere to. Concrete block. The homes are built like fortresses. The new construction homes, almost all, have impact windows. They test them by taking a 2x4 and sending it like 150 miles an hour and making sure the window doesn't crack. That's how they are. These homes are built very strong because of it. But on the other hand, the other aspect and the kind of con when it comes to moving to Jupiter, Florida, is the cost of homeowners insurance. Homeowners insurance is a problem here in South Florida. We, in recent years, like mine in particular, this past year, doubled. I have an older house. You know, the house I live in is like a 2005 house. If you have a home pre-2010, you are going to pay more money. New construction is actually very reasonable. There's every carrier out there will be willing to insure you. But once you get to a older home, a lot of them go to Citizens. Reach out to our team if you want to learn more about that. There's definitely a lot to explain here. You can literally have, if you buy a newer house, your insurance cost of homeowners insurance will be roughly a third. If you buy a home pre-2010. But I just want to give you a heads up on that and mention that is one of the cons when it comes to moving to Jupiter, Florida. One of the pros when it comes to moving to Jupiter, Florida is, got to mention this because this is unique. In fact, they even have one of the parks in Jupiter, Florida. This is the spring training home of all of baseball. So, in fact, in Jupiter, we have the St. Louis Cardinals and the Florida Marlins. They train here. They're the Roger Dean Stadium. They actually have sports there and events there all year round. But in the month of March, there are people that come from all over the United States, baseball fans alike. They all come here to our part in Palm Beach, Florida. So in addition to Jupiter, you have up north in Port St. Lucie, you have the hometown of spring training home of the New York Mets. In West Palm Beach, they created in recent years spring training for the Houston Astros and the Washington Nationals. So people will spend their time in this area, in our area, in the month of March. The weather's beautiful too. It is the nicest weather. The nicest month. March is the nicest month in Florida. That's my opinion. It's the humidity is not there. The temperature is still good. Let me tell you this: the winters here, you cannot compete. If you look in the winter, January and February, the warmest part of the country, it is always here in South Florida, here in Jupiter, Florida. And it's one of the reasons why people make Jupiter and move to Jupiter, Florida, from all the places in the United States. So if you're moving to Jupiter, Florida, this is what we do. I want to just, you can see a lot of these areas here that people live in. Bella Vista, Jupiter Bay, Sea Palms. There's Jonathan's Lane's golf clubs. There's a thing called a membership community here that you've got to watch out for. So if you're looking to buy in Jupiter or anywhere in Palm Beach, you need to reach out to us. We'll help you with that. But these are all communities. The new construction stuff is more in the Palm Beach Gardens area. Here's another, the club at Admiral's Cove. These are sort of high-end areas. You don't need a bajillion dollars to live in Jupiter, but it helps. If these areas can be a lot of money. When you move out here a little bit further west, there is out in this area here, Limestone Creek. This is where the resort at Jupiter is in this area. There's definitely very affordable out there. But one of the things I've seen some of the restaurants here. I'm just going through. There's just a lot of unique places here. And there's a good reason why they call Jupiter one of the happiest coastal cities and happiest coastal living in all the United States. In regards to the restaurants, one of the things they do is people like to eat outside. It's one of the pros when it comes to moving to Jupiter, Florida is people like to eat outside, and especially in the wintertime. We get cold here in the winter, and cold by our definition, and don't laugh, is like 50 degrees. When you are in 50 degrees in Florida, people are like in coats. It's crazy. I know you guys are laughing at us, and it's okay. I'm from New York originally. I know I used to laugh at you guys too. Laugh at us. In any event, we have these heaters that when it gets like around that temperature, that they'll put them there and they'll warm up there. People love to eat outside. There's less of it obviously in the summertime, but we do it all year long. So it is like living in this area is sort of like living a resort all year round. So if you're thinking about moving to this area, I mentioned our new home construction, our new construction website. We have that. If you want to search for homes on your own, again, reach out to our team. We have I have a website that you can search our area. Just email me. I'll send it to you. You can search our area. You can start looking at the homes in our area. It doesn't have to be Jupiter. It could be anywhere in our area. We'd love to help you because we help more and more people move to this area than pretty much anybody. And it's not just South Florida. If you're looking to move to other parts of Florida, my team here at Living in Palm Beach, Florida, have people across the state. So if you're looking for, like we helped someone recently in Sarasota, we've done Naples, we've done other parts of Tampa, we've done other parts of Florida, Pensacola. If you're looking at other parts, I have referral partners. I have people on the ground in other places that I help vet. And if I don't have one there, I help vet them for you on your behalf. So if you're going to a place you're not sure of and you want help in moving to Florida, reach out to our team at Living here in Palm Beach, Florida. We'd love to help. So Jupiter is a unique place. It's not for everybody. Florida is not for everybody. The only way you're going to know really is if you can come down. These videos are great. I know they help. And I hear that all the time. But the best way to really figure out if Jupiter is for you is to come for yourself. Reach out to our team if you're thinking about planning a trip. We'll give you some advice on what you should do and the best way to make it a productive trip. But that's what we do. We'd love to help you here living in Palm Beach, Florida. Jupiter, Palm Beach, paradise here in South Florida.